Caitlin Clark is rewriting the narrative of basketball. From her record-breaking stats to her revolutionary impact on the court, her incredible performances and fearless style have captured the attention of fans, analysts, and even NBA legends who rarely comment on the WNBA. Never before has a player sparked such a mix of admiration and debate among the biggest names in the game. Although Caitlin is spearheading a new age in women's basketball, there has been opposition to her ascent. Some have questioned her and attempted to undermine her. But two of the greatest basketball legends, after all the hype surrounding Caitlin Clark, Michael Jordan and Larry Bird, have finally offered their opinions, which are nothing short of revolutionary. The WNBA owes Caitlin a lot for her contributions to the game, and Michael Jordan has intervened to voice his opinions, which completely alters the situation. Jordan, according to MJ, didn't stop there. He demanded a whole revamp of refereeing, stressing that the referees had been flagrantly unjust to Caitlin and that it was time for the league to take action and set things right. His remarks have a strong resonance. It's not every day that the greatest of all time steps in to defend a player. And Jordan's remarks make it abundantly evident that Caitlin is a game changer whose contributions cannot be disregarded any longer. The WNBA must not only recognize Caitlin's impact, but also make sure she gets the respect she deserves from both her peers and the officials on the court. Even though they weren't the most physically dominant athletes, Allen Iverson, one of the most electrifying stars of his era, redefined the NBA, and Caitlin Clark is currently changing the WNBA. Both players rose to fame during their college careers and entered professional leagues under tremendous pressure and high expectations, earning respect for their skill and tenacity. Similar to how Caitlin Clark has become a role model for innumerable young girls who aspire to imitate her fearless play style and sharp basketball IQ, Iverson captivated fans with his iconic killer crossover, leaving defenders stunned and changing the way the NBA approached face-up ball handling, a style deeply rooted in street basketball. In a recent interview, Iverson acknowledged Clark's extraordinary ability and discussed what makes her stand out and why she is a genuine game changer for the sport, underlining her special abilities and unwavering determination. If you appreciate this content, consider giving this video a like and subscribing to the channel. Believe it or not, more than 83% of viewers haven't subscribed yet. It's free and only takes a second, but it means the world to us. So, did you subscribe already? Great. Thank you so much for your support. Now back to the video. Man, shoot the blood out of the ball. You know what I mean? I never seen anything like it. You know what I mean? And then just how aggressive she is, you know, and not just scoring the basketball, getting her teammates involved as well. I think she's so great for the game. You know what I mean? It was a pleasure watching her, and I just think down the road, she's going to only get better.
Allen Iverson is aware of what it takes to be a team's offensive engine, and he recognizes those same traits in Caitlin Clark. During his prime, Iverson led his team in scoring, just as Clark does today, and he commended her for it. Unrelenting hostility on the court is a characteristic that is crucial for players who have to be their team's primary scorer. But Iverson also emphasized what makes the all-time greats unique: elite playmaking. While being the youngest member of her squad, Clark has shown, through her vision and selflessness, a natural capacity to uplift everyone around her. Players like Clark and Iverson are referred to as floor raisers because of their basketball prowess and ability to improve everyone around them. With time and development, Clark's basketball IQ will only continue to grow. Iverson himself famously guided a less-than-stellar supporting cast to the NBA Finals by depending on his ability to score at will. It is just a matter of time before Caitlin Clark learns how to lead her squad to even greater heights. The challenge now is for the Indiana Fever to surround its young star with the right supporting cast. Iverson believes Caitlin Clark will continue to improve both her game and her team. He believes a superstar has all the necessary components to reach the highest level of success. Charles Barkley, an NBA legend and one of the most well-known voices in sports media, has also noticed Caitlin Clark's rise. With more than 20 years of experience as an analyst and a renowned career as an NBA All-Star, Barkley brings a unique perspective to his observations. He is no stranger to the spotlight, having navigated his own controversies during his playing days. But his time in the media has helped him refine his approach and connect with fans in a new way.
Barkley has expressed admiration for Caitlin Clark's behavior both on and off the court. It is not just about being excellent on the court. Clark also handles the media, the fans, and the expectations like a seasoned professional, which is a rare quality, especially for someone so young. Barkley is familiar with this balancing act, and witnessing Clark succeed at such a young age undoubtedly leaves a lasting impression on a Hall of Famer.
The thing I love about her, she never says a word. And now, when I watch her, two things I like. She's playing much faster.
Yeah.
Much faster. She was playing too slow the first half of the season.
I think she was tired. I think she was banged up from the college season.
They didn't even give her the understanding, like, you girls been worded for the WNBA season. Y'all been working out on the no-trip. She came straight out of college.
Caitlin Clark thrives in every facet of the game, both inside and out, because of her extraordinary work ethic. She endured tremendous pressure from fans and teams and surpassed all expectations. She took the hits from her rivals and proved herself to be more resilient than them. Most impressively, she has improved throughout the season. She has quickly learned to outperform her peers in the WNBA, which is no easy task given the notable differences between college basketball and professional game. The physical demands of the WNBA take a toll on a player's body in ways that supporters sometimes cannot see or even comprehend. This is particularly true for Caitlin. Fans have been pleasantly surprised by this aspect of Clark's game, as she was initially regarded as a supreme offensive player. The only way to withstand the additional physicality that opposing teams directed at her is through diligent physical preparation, allowing her to absorb the punishment throughout the lengthy WNBA season. In sports, talent without exceptional physical characteristics may take many different forms. Interestingly, Shaquille O'Neal, who is often considered one of the greatest basketball players of all time, has shown that greatness comes in different styles. Despite their stark contrast in physicality and playing style, Shaq has also voiced his appreciation for Steph Curry, naming him his favorite player in the NBA today. The two admire each other's excellence. Speaking on Angel Reese's podcast, Shaq openly praised Caitlin Clark's extraordinary talent, despite the fact that she is Angel's fiercest rival. He also highlighted Caitlin's dominance on the court despite her smaller frame, drawing comparisons to Steph Curry's unique impact. According to Shaq, both Caitlin and Steph have revolutionized their respective leagues by bringing a fresh and unparalleled excitement to the game, which he believes is the key to driving a league success.
Why do you think nobody do that on a consistent basis?
Shaw's talk revealed a number of fascinating insights, chief among them being his acknowledgement of Caitlin Clark's ability to accomplish feats that no other WNBA player has, even Angel Reese, Caitlin's fierce rival. However, Angel's comments seemed to minimize Caitlin's abilities, dismissing her ability to shoot threes from the logo, which is a remarkable skill that electrifies fans and demonstrates an enormous amount of dedication and practice. Mastering such a shot requires extraordinary precision. Shaw's admiration highlights his belief that Caitlin Clark is a crucial figure in elevating the WNBA's prominence and appeal. The rivalry between Angel Reese and Caitlin Clark has become a cornerstone of the league's growing popularity. However, his remarks could also be seen as a subtle challenge to Angel Reese, who has publicly insisted that Caitlin is not the only driver of the league's growing popularity. This dynamic is reminiscent of the NBA's early years in the 1970s, when the league struggled to draw enough spectators to support live broadcast games. In sharp contrast to its present position as a media behemoth, the entrance of two generational talents transformed the sport. Similar to how Magic Johnson and Larry Bird's historic matchup in the NCAA tournament finals broke viewership records and rekindled interest in basketball across the country, the women's NCAA tournament recently broke viewership records, igniting a media frenzy around women's basketball. At the center of this phenomenon is the fierce rivalry between Caitlin Clark and Angel Reese. Their simultaneous entry into the WNBA has brought in a wave of new fans, drawing comparisons to the NBA's revolutionary growth in the 1980s. Magic Johnson himself has weighed in, saying that he believes Caitlin Clark has the potential to become the greatest player in league history.
Caitlin is the most popular WNBA player, but she's not the best at this time. Just like Larry and I were not the best when we entered the league. We became the best later on by our play. Caitlin still has to play great to become the best WNBA.
Johnson,
a player and owner of the Los Angeles Sparks, has long been an ardent supporter of the WNBA. It appears that he has always believed the league would eventually become as well-known and prosperous as the NBA, and his prediction is beginning to look promising. He spoke about the WNBA's growing popularity in relation to the spectacle and rivalry between Caitlin Clark and Angel Reese, comparing it to the legendary rivalry between himself and Larry Bird. Fans can now hope that the WNBA will experience the same positive financial growth that the NBA enjoyed. It is beginning to come together, and we are already seeing the benefits. Magic Johnson and Larry Bird also brought a significant change in the way basketball was played in the NBA. Since Caitlin Clark is more skilled than many current WNBA players in several aspects of the game, it is possible that her talent will influence how future players train and how teams design their offensive systems. Just as Magic Johnson transformed the NBA after entering the league, Caitlin Clark could have a similar impact on the WNBA. Magic Johnson's thoughts on Caitlin Clark are impressive, but what Larry Bird had to say may be even more compelling. During his NBA career, Larry Bird transformed offenses with his extraordinary talent and basketball IQ, quickly establishing himself as one of the greatest players in league history. There was also a symbolic passing of the torch moment when Chris Paul reflected on Caitlin Clark's Rookie of the Year campaign and compared it to his own rookie season many years earlier. The two have also developed a connection through their partnership with State Farm. The company even asked Chris Paul to record a congratulatory message for Caitlin after she won Rookie of the Year.
One of the things that I learned coming from one Rookie of the Year to another, even though mine was 19 years ago, one of the biggest things after winning Rookie of the Year, because that's a big deal, first of all, that's a huge achievement and you should be proud. But going forward, I think the biggest thing I tried to focus on was getting stronger. I wanted to get stronger, I wanted to get faster, I wanted to be better on defense. But more than anything, I tell you, the biggest people that I leaned on was my family, my support.
It is good that Chris Paul also offered guidance on the psychological and emotional toll that being a young basketball prodigy takes on an athlete. You can tell that Chris Paul genuinely respects Caitlin Clark and wants her to succeed in her career in the long run. He continues to say more to celebrate her award. There is that worry about Caitlin's physical training that every basketball player is familiar with.
What you did this past season was crazy. Most points by a rookie in WNBA history, most assists by a rookie in WNBA history, 3-time Eastern Conference Player of the Week, 4-time WNBA Rookie of the Month. I could go on and on. So shout out to you, Caitlin. It's been amazing to watch you hoop day in and day out, and not just to see the behind the back going left threes from deep, but more so just to see the passion and the joy that you play with, and to see the way that you make your teammates better. So I just want to say congratulations.
Caitlin is following in the footsteps of the most well-liked basketball prospects who have entered the league in a big way. Many would argue that LeBron and Jordan were the biggest prospects who completely changed the game, but there's a big name that people have been forgetting today. Chris Paul lists some impressive accomplishments from Clark's Rookie of the Year campaign, and there is a lot that she must be proud of. He even shouted out specific moves that Caitlin does on the court. Because he had previously played in the ABA and was the league's face, Julius Erving, better known as Dr. J, was perhaps the most well-liked basketball player to ever join a new league. His celebrity status at the time was unparalleled. And he also shared his thoughts on Caitlin Clark when she was passed over for the women's basketball Olympic team. He reassured her and her supporters that things were not all that bad. He said, "I think she is probably going to be a part of the next 3 Olympic teams, and 3 would be plenty, because there is risk associated with being a part of this particular Olympic team. So slow your roll a little bit." She is doing commercials and doing things that are changing the game, and she has been amazing. If she is allowed to let things happen when they should, Dr. J is aware that a basketball career is lengthy and can take many different turns. Since his own career was like that, he advised Caitlin to unwind a little. She has already accomplished a lot in just her first year, and will undoubtedly have a chance to do even more in the future. He also implied that Caitlin Clark has more to do outside of the WNBA, and even more to accomplish outside of just basketball. Julius Erving, who developed into a multifaceted personality and cultural icon, also exemplified this. During Setter's playing career, celebrity culture often entwined with sporting excellence. Vince Carter, who was drafted by the Toronto Raptors in the 1990s, is a prime example of the modern era. He not only elevated the team, but also established a new basketball culture in the city, much like Dr. J and Caitlin Clark. During his prime, Vince Carter was a huge fan favorite and earned the moniker Human Highlight Reel due to his electrifying plays that dominated highlight reels, making him the face of basketball. Today, Vince Carter views Caitlin Clark as a WNBA marquee player, which also illuminates the criticism and difficulties Caitlin faces because greatness is frequently accompanied by intense scrutiny.
I know a lot of people have been hating on Caitlin.
This is what happens to a rookie.
Yeah.
This is what happens to a rookie. This is what happens to the marquee player.
Subscribe and enable all notifications so you don't miss anything. We'll see you in the next one after you click the video on the screen.